but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body.
I'm afraid of the sun, and I don't like Snuggies. They're weird. As you just saw, Nick Pittman is a 17-year-old boy living in Garden City, New York. He lives with his mother, Mary Ann, and he's a terrible fear of the sun as well as Snuggies. He's a troubled young man, and we're trying to find him help. We've introduced him to a two therapist team consisting of Sam McHugh and Tracy Krug. Let's see what they have in store for him.
Hello, we were recently contacted by Mary Ann Pittman to seek treatment for her son.
Apparently his intense fear of the sun has begun to affect his social life, in that he no longer goes outside within a 4-hour range of solar noon. He also fears Snuggies, as he fears they are dangerous and will harm him.
We were trying to find out why Nick has such a terrible fear of the sun, as well as Snuggies. By finding out what caused his fears in the first place, we can condition him to live a normal life without being afraid of those two stimuli.
Our goal is to allow Nick to tolerate the sun and Snuggies, and thus assimilate him into normal life.
We will flood him with the outdoors at solar noon, as the sun is most intense during that time. Hopefully this will allow Nick to see how harmless the sun actually is. In addition, we will have several nurses dress up in Snuggies to see how Nick reacts.
If it all goes according to plan, Nick will see that the sun and Snuggies are actually harmless parts of everyday life.
After what you just saw, Nick was rushed to the hospital to seek medical attention. He was cleared by doctors physically. However, his mental state is still, what's the term? Pretty messed up. He's a weird kid. So we're going to try to figure out what's wrong with him.
When did his fear become evident to you, Mrs. Pittman?
Well, when he was 5, our neighbors asked him to go outside for a bike ride. That's when I knew. What 5-year-old doesn't want to go outside for a bike ride? He instead said that it was too hot when it was about 50 or 60 degrees.
I see. Was going outside a popular thing for your family?
No, we rarely did to begin with.
I see. I believe in my years of expertise that Mrs. Pittman conditioned Nick not to go outside. Eventually, his love for his mother allowed him to associate with going outside and disappointing his mother. Thus, the association began, and he hated the sun. As for the Snuggie, those things are just creepy. What teenage, semi-disturbed boy wouldn't be afraid of them?
Clearly Nick's flooding of the sun and flooding of the Snuggies was a complete fail. Apparently Nick's fear was too intense.
Our plan is to not film the next few weeks of treatment, as it may be too disturbing for audiences.
We now cut to 5 weeks later, after constant flooding each day for those 5 weeks. We now observe Nick's progress as he finds pleasure in wearing Snuggies as well as the sun.
We now observe Nick Pittman in his natural habitat. 5 weeks after treatment has begun, Nick now seeks pleasure in experiencing the sun and wearing a Snuggie.
What's another night all alone when you're spending every day on your own? And here it goes.